This video is on outer joins. I have here my first table members and then my second table contacts. Now they're just very, very simple tables. So they have first name, last name, and member ID in common. And what I'm going to do first is a left outer join. Now what the left outer join is going to do is from the two tables, I have my member my member table that's going to be on the left and my contact table that's going to be on the right. And what I'm going to do is have it show me where the member IDs are the same. And then it's going to only include the null values in the member table because that's the one that's on the left. Now, before I go on, let's go ahead and start to pull this up so that we can actually see it. Okay, so from the members table, we're going to select, I want the member ID. Now what I'm also going to do is instead of just pulling up the member IDs, I want you to be able to also see the names. So I'm going to pull up the member last name. And then I want it to do the last name first and then the first name. So we need to pipe those two together with the first name. Now I'm going to have an alias for this, and it's going to be the customer name. Oops. Okay, so here is my first argument. Now my second argument, it's going to be from the member table, M, and a left outer join. So again, what this is going to do is members is on my left, and so it's going to show me the same values for the member ID and only the null values where it's null for the member ID in the member table. So if there's null values for a member ID in the contact table, it's not going to pull up those null values for the member ID, just the nulls in the member table. So on member, that's not how you spell member, member ID is equal to the contact table's member ID. Now, I'm not going to end it here because I think my member IDs are kind of out of order, as you can see in my contact table. So I'm going to order my values by member ID. Now this should work. Yes, perfect. Okay, so it is showing me that I have two null values for member ID in the member table with Cameron and Bob. So if I was to pull up my members table, you could see that Cameron and Bob are the only ones that don't have member ID that are included inside of the query. Now, if we wanted to reverse this for a right outer join, we do select contact member ID. And then if I want to also include the names, I do contact last name, pipe with comma, and pipe with the first name from the contact table. It's recording. First name, and then I'm going to have an alias as customer name from the member table. And now this is going to be a right outer join. So again, what I'm telling them to do is I only want the null values included in the contact table. So where member ID is equal to the contact member ID, and I'm going to order it by the member ID. Okay, so now this query, what it's showing is that the only person that has a null value in the member ID is Emmett. And if I was to query that table again so that we can take another look at it, we can see that Emmett is the only one with a null value in the member ID column. Now there is a way to query so that both of our tables have all the null values together, so from the member and contact table. And the way that we do that is with a full outer join. And to do a full outer join, we're going to do select, we'll go ahead and just do the member ID, and we'll do the same piping with 1 second. Hi, sweetheart. Do you want to watch Mama work? Mama book? Yep, Mama's working. Hang on, Anna. Let me just put the stuff away. And then let's see. First name as customer name from member, and then a full outer join with the contact table on where member ID is equal to the contacts table member ID, and we'll order a member ID. Okay, so now you can see that it shows all of the milks. Okay, go get some milk. Let's go buy for some milk. Okay, so I did mess up. I should have just done all the member values for the member table for the last and first name, and then it would have pulled up all of the null values. So it pulled up the null values for Emmett, Bob, and Cameron, but unfortunately I didn't disregard where there's also null values. It didn't include the name. So why it has no name here is because this is Emmett in the member table, but it's null value in the contact table. So my tables I set up kind of incorrectly. But that is how you do a left, right, and full outer joins.